Who's pulling the strings? Bombshell, Greg Jarrett labels Rod Rosenstein the true puppet master of the DOJ by Aaron Moreno for TruthFeedNews.com. On yesterday's Hannity, legal analyst Greg Jarrett provided a bombshell explanation for Attorney General Jeff Sessions' complete inaction in his position thus far. Jarrett believes that Sessions is the AG in name only and is being controlled by other power players in the DOJ, mainly Rod Rosenstein. Let's take a quick listen. It starts at 5:45, it says. We'll take a listen.
Top story. Joining us tonight, Fox News contributor Sarah Carter, Fox News contributor Jason Chavis, Fox News legal analyst Greg Jarrett. Greg, it's your night. This released letter by Devin Nunes tonight, when you are now questioning whether or not the FBI not only followed protocol, but whether they broke the law. And we will have an answer. He's demanding one in 7 days.
There is a set of guidelines. It's a book. It's really the Bible for the FBI. They have to memorize it. It says what they can and cannot do. On the one hand, when it comes to a criminal investigation, they cannot open it unless they have articulable factual basis for it. They had none here, yet they opened the criminal probe of the Trump campaign. The second is, in a counterintelligence probe, they have to submit evidence for a surveillance warrant that is corroborated and verified. Again, it's in the dialogue.
Don't we know it was never verified?
That's right.
Because in January, Jim Comey goes to Trump Tower and says it's salacious and it's not verified. And this is in October. This is months earlier. He's now admitting months later that it was never verified.
That's right.
And they used it.
And using it is a violation of at least 6 different felony statutes. You noted some that Devin Nunes has pointed out, which are the ones you and I have been talking about, plus a couple of others he mentions there. But clearly abuse of power, I think perjury, false and misleading statements, fraud, and conspiracy to commit fraud. So all of these are serious crimes punishable by 5, 10 years behind bars. And if you deceive a court and conceal evidence from a judge in order to spy on Americans, that is a whole set of crimes.
This is going to come due now. This is happening. Trouble. All right, Congressman, let me go to you, then I want to bring Sarah in. So we know that before the Nunes memo, when they waited till the very last day and hours before the deadline to release the information that then became the Nunes memo, we know that Rod Rosenstein went into Speaker Ryan's office and begged him, don't give the information that has been subpoenaed. Now I want to know, Rod Rosenstein, he has 7 days to explain this. And I suspect he's not going to want to answer again. And he's the guy that appointed Mueller. How should this be handled from a legal standpoint when you have separation of powers, when you have oversight authority as you once did?
Yeah, no, look, Devin Nunes and Trey Gowdy and the crew is doing exactly the right thing. Give them 7 days, a very specific question, allow them to come up. I'm proud of the fact that Speaker Ryan is backing them and supporting. I would also encourage Devin Nunes to look at the security clearances of these people. Why do these people still have security clearances? You don't have a security clearance, you don't have a job. But these people, they are given great latitude, but the law and the guidance, as Greg pointed out, is very clear, and it looks as if it was clearly broken.
One of the things, Sarah, I want you to weigh in on all of this, but also add the point that Ken Starr made earlier, because this is an important point, and he was accused of the same thing, going beyond the mandate of what the special counsel is. I mean, literally every day I see and I believe, my gut, the special counsels, there's somebody in there that's leaking, because they don't like the fact that they're being covered and uncovered in the sense that, look at the people that Robert Mueller hired. So when Ken Starr says it's beyond the mandate, how far beyond the mandate have we gone here?
I think we've gone extremely far beyond the mandate. And remember, Ken Starr also argued that he was told by Janet Reno to go after those perjury charges against then President Clinton. So his mandate was expanded, he said, by the Attorney General at that time. And I think that's important to note. So what we have to ask ourselves here is there's one specific question, and I just want to go back to Chairman Nunes's letter that says, what has the DOJ and the FBI done to bring these people, to investigate them or to bring charges against them? We want to know what's going on here. And then if you go to the special counsel and you see the expansive nature of this special counsel, and you now hear Adam Schiff is saying himself that, you know, basically he's saying there's no real evidence of collusion. It's all out there. It's speculative. I mean, we may never know.
It's out there. What is out there? Nobody can answer. Where is the collusion? What is it?
There is no collusion as of yet. There has been no proof whatsoever that President Trump's campaign...
Listen, if he doesn't have that answer and he's it's already out there, what is it? Somebody needs to ask him as he goes on 272 shows auditioning to be the next Rachel Maddow or Lawrence O'Donnell.
Well, there's going to be charges. I mean, I believe right now, Chairman Nunes as well as Senator Grassley are right over the target. You know, I keep hearing this over and over again. This is going to need to be investigated. There are going to be answers to these questions. I'm telling you, there will be answers to these questions. And remember, the Inspector General's report is coming out, Sean, and that is going to reveal a lot. And I think it's going to be very soon. It was supposed to be this month. I'm hearing that it could still possibly be this month. They may extend it into April, but we don't know yet.
We need it sooner than later, Greg.
Here is the problem. In order to bring these people to justice who appear to have committed a variety of crimes, you have to have the Department of Justice prosecutors investigate and bring the case. Jeff Sessions has shown no indication of doing this.
He's going to say the Inspector General's report comes out, then we get reports of possible crimes, then we then our DOJ lawyers will look at it, and then we'll have a special counsel.
They'll start.
Really?
It's such a waste of time.
Don't we have enough evidence now that warrants an appointment of another special counsel to investigate the investigators, the FBI, and the DOJ?
And Congress asked for it last July, and Jeff Sessions has been utterly feckless in his responses.
Jason Chaffetz, should there be a second special counsel, and do we have to wait for the IG, then the DOJ attorney, and then maybe a special counsel? Is that when we know laws have been broken? We have irrefutable evidence at this point.
Look, you have an attorney general who's recused himself out of the very job. I've been saying for a few months, it's time for, I'm sorry, Jeff Sessions is a good, honorable person, but he's not up to the job. He doesn't have the guts to get what needs to be done. He's recused himself out of everything. You don't need a special counsel if you have an attorney general who can actually, you know, move the ball forward and do what he's supposed to do and administer justice, but he's nowhere on this. So if you're going to keep the attorney general in place, then go get a second special counsel.
Jeff Sessions is not the attorney general. He's the AG in name only. It is being run by other people.
Rod Rosenstein?
Largely Rod Rosenstein.
All right.
Sessions is kept in the dark, out of major decisions. He doesn't have a clue as to what's going on there. And I get that from people in the DOJ.
I do too. And so does Sarah. Yes. Sarah's shaking her head. I wish we had more time.
Absolutely.
All right, when we come back, Reince Priebus, also the